Hey everybody, welcome to Coffee Time. As you can see, my husband is not with me today, but I have a surprise for you and I want to introduce you to my dad. Dad, can you say hey?
Hey, how are y'all?
This is my dad. I was told I got to ask someone I wanted to have on Coffee Time, and I chose you because one of the things I love most about you, people know that I would defend you to the bitter end. If mom says something mean, I'm like, don't talk about him like that. One time Joel said something slightly like, I think your dad has more gray hair, something so minute. And I was like, don't say that. So people know my love for my dad. But today I kind of want to ask you a couple questions. It's some of the things I admire most about you. And just to let y'all know, he's doing this blind. You have no idea what I'm about to say.
True.
But
That's kind of scary.
It is scary. It's all good though. So I can remember years ago, Joel and I first being married. And, he's getting to know you and mom. And, we kind of wanted to ease him into my family. But once you meet one of us, it's just, you're all in. It's crazy. It's wild. But he was getting to know you. And I don't remember how it came up in conversation, but there was something about you and him talking about how do you define success? And the answer you gave Joel just really kind of blew his mind because he had never heard that definition of success. And it's something I so admire about you. And what you said is to have a close family. And so I kind of wanted to talk to you about that subject, the subject of family. Where did your heart for success being defined in a family dynamic? Where did that come from?
Well, I guess it was born out of a desire to have my own have my own family. The one that I grew up with, close, because we moved all over the place and we never had really close friendships. So we always had to look to the family. But our family wasn't close. I mean, we were compatible, we were friendly, we had a lot of fun together and stuff like that. But we weren't what I would say close. And so I just, I think it was something God did in my heart to draw me to a way that he wanted to use my life for his glory. When I got saved in the Air Force, after I got out, I spent about a year and a half, about 6 months fiddling around with dating and stuff like that, and was really disappointed in the whole deal. And so I decided, I'm just not going to date anymore, And for about a year and a half, I didn't. I was a very eligible bachelor in college and just not interested in dating. But one morning I finished my Bible study and I laid my Bible down on the floor and I said, Lord, I think I want a wife. And then I met your mom.
And I have to interject and say, this is where my mom would say, every time my mom does something crazy, which is fairly often, she always says, you ask God for a wife, I'm not punishment. Right?
That's right. That's right. And so, once I had a wife, I realized, this is something that I'm not going to walk away from.
Yeah.
And we're going to make this work one way or the other. And we made a lot of mistakes along the way, just like every young couple does. But we pushed through and had 5 wonderful children. And
the 5th being the favorite. We already established that.
Yeah.
So,
And now we're almost 49 years married this
That's
Christmas,
amazing.
this December. And it's been, 44 of the best years of my life.
Dad, I can do math. There's 5 years that are unaccounted for. Do we need to have another coffee time about the 5 years?
Yeah, we'll save that for another day.
Well, that is okay. So the thing I really, when I was thinking about that, like that one line of defining a strong, healthy family as success for you, like I think about how people define success, and I define a successful day like a clean house, and the kids got their homework done, and I made dinner, and it like truly, I started thinking about um, what I would define as success, and it very much relates to that because I saw growing up that we as a family, while we might not have had the bells and whistles of life or we
The finer things, yes.
yeah, we might yeah, whatever. But to this day, that's still the things I crave is a strong family. You see me with my kids, like I love the ground they walk on, most days. And I mean some days it's a little iffy, but
You love them, but sometimes you don't like them.
yeah, exactly. But I have adapted that so much because I saw growing up that modeled. And one of the things I feel like you and mom were best at is while we didn't have the bells and whistles or the finer things of life always, we always were together. Like whether
Yeah.
it was Thursday nights, we watched, TV, and that's the one night mom made a pan of brownies. It was the one thing she knew how to cook well, right?
I'm not, no, Elizabeth, you did not hear me say that. She said that.
Look, we give mom a hard time about the things she cooks. Sometimes it takes faith to eat some of the things.
Faith food, yes.
Yes,
Build your
yes.
faith, yes.
But the times that, we might not have had this huge Christmas, even as a kid, I remember those Christmases being so good because it wasn't about presents y'all gave, but it really was about your presence. Just we were always together as a family. And when I started having kids, I realized I was missing some of that, of sitting at the table and eating a meal together. And now I have redeemed that. I really feel like my kids will walk
for you.
away and want to give their kids what I gave them, but what y'all gave us. And so it's one of the things I so admire about y'all. Like, how did you know that that was like a staple we needed in our family, just time together?
I don't know how I knew it, but I knew that if we were going to be a family, our time around the table had to be positive.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not a good place to fight your children is around the table because you can't win.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a good place to exhort one another and to encourage one another,
Yeah.
but it's not a good place to fight with one another over, like we did at my table when I grew up.
Stab each
Eat
other
your
with
peas.
a fork.
If you don't eat those little green peas, you're a dead man.
Wow. Your household sounds a lot of fun. Lots of fun.
Yeah.
No. Oh, man. What was that scripture that y'all had painted around our table?
Oh, that was a scripture that God gave me that confirmed our marriage, and that was, your children will be like olive plants round about your table.
Yeah. And you had
And
5 of them.
that's
so we
what
were
it turned
there.
out to be.
Yes. It's so true. And I can remember that same table was where we used to do homework for you would sit at the table and do homework with, it really was more Jeremy and Lee, where you had to sit there for
Oh, gosh.
hours.
Yes. And accomplish nothing.
They're successful human beings now, though.
Yes.
You did something right.
Something caught. Yeah. Yeah.
But that was also something else I thought about. And Joel brings all this to me because to me it's so normal. It's what I saw modeled. But something he always said is, we always make fun of you and mom for how much you made us do around the house, like cleaning. And what is it, KP1 and KP2? Like Kitchen
Yeah.
Patrol 1 does this job,
That-
Kitchen Patrol 2 does
That
this
was a
job.
spillover of my Boy Scouting experience.
Yeah. My mom and dad wanted all boys, so they had 1 boy, 4 girls, and raises like boys. But to this day, Joel said, you and your siblings, y'all's work ethic is amazing, and y'all can make fun of your parents all you want to, but y'all instilled good work ethic. What would you say to help parents? What would you say would be maybe the top thing you did to instill work ethic?
Married my wife, Elizabeth. She is the hardest working, busiest woman I've ever known.
That's true.
And when she had a mind for something to be done, that's what got done.
Yeah.
Whatever it was.
Yeah. But you like translated that into your kids somehow though. I was talking to Jeremy on the phone the other night, and he's remodeling a bathroom, and he's like, I've been working on it since August, and here we are a couple months later, and he's like, I have to make it perfect because I'll look at it. I was like, that is so dad, because you would make house projects last. It would carry over from one weekend to the next to the next. I'm like, oh my gosh, those sawhorses have been in the garage for 3 weeks. But no, it's so good. I just so admire you though, for the family you created, because it really has. And Mom says it often, and I think it's so humble of her to say, but y'all laid a great place to build a family from. But then she wants us, and this is the part that's so amazing for her to think through, but I want you to be better at it than we were. And I think that would be y'all in a nutshell, that y'all never used excuses for why we couldn't be happy on an occasion, where some people would use excuses. Y'all just thought, well, if we don't have this, we can do this instead and make it equally as special. So y'all never used excuses for a reason why life couldn't be great, why we couldn't have a strong family. And I thank you so much for that. And I think you're pretty amazing.
Whatever. I don't know if that's exactly the right word I would use to describe myself. I'm pretty amazing,
Humble. You're humble.
Humble.
You're humble. You're amazing, but that does not make me not want to whoop you in a dare. So
No dares.
There is another surprise at coffee time. As you know, we have to do a dare. So are you
My
prepared?
goodness. No, I'm not.
Well, sorry, we're doing it. We'll see you there. All right, so for this dare challenge, we are going to kind of throw this cup up in the air, and then we're going to hit it and try to get this cup to land in this cup. We each get 1 minute. We get 1 minute. And Dad, you can go first. Or do you want me to?
I'll be happy.
Okay. Wonderful.
Only got a minute, right?
Yes.
Are you ready?
Call it.
All right, in 3, 2, 1.
Cheese.
Oh, I'm so close. Oh, so close.
Come on.
20 more seconds.
Minute lasts a long time, doesn't it? No body contact.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, Miss Debbie.
All right. So he did it from here. Is that how you're supposed to do it?
on, do it.
All right, now you gotta help me out. Okay. We're behind me. What's happening? Okay, come on now, girl. Keep going.
Oh my goodness. So close, 20 seconds.
So close.